Here we are in the SpaceX machine shop.
When Elon Musk founded SpaceX in 2002, he only had two things going for him.
SpaceX basically consisted of carpet and a mariachi band. That's all of SpaceX.
Well, he did have one more thing, an ambition that knew no bounds. The sky is not the limit for Elon, whose mission is to send people to Mars. On April 20, 2023, humanity took one step closer to that dream when the world's largest rocket, the fully reusable Starship, attempted to go into orbit for the first time.
Obviously, this does not appear to be a nominal situation.
Although Starship failed to reach orbit, learning from failures is Elon's approach to his career building SpaceX. And to think he built a rocket company with just a bachelor's degree in economics and another in physics. Elon, who has Canadian citizenship thanks to his mother May, began his undergrad studies at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, 3 hours east of Toronto. He chose Queen's over Canada's University of Waterloo, which is renowned for its engineering program, because, as he told Queen's magazine, there didn't seem to be any girls at Waterloo. I didn't want to spend my undergraduate time with a bunch of dudes. After 2 years at Queen's, he transferred to the University of Pennsylvania as he thought attending an Ivy League school might help him land a job in America, the land of opportunity when it comes to tech. Still, degrees in economics and physics weren't enough to make him a rocket scientist. So Elon taught himself by devouring these books, a habit he built as a boy, reading the entire encyclopedia when he was only 8 or 9 years old. He also absorbed knowledge from the industry's best. He cold-called aerospace consultant Jim Cantrell, who answered while driving in his convertible with the roof down. He thought he heard Elon introduce himself as an internet billionaire, as he recalled in an interview with Esquire. Elon wasn't quite a billionaire then, but he did score $180 million when his financial services company X.com merged with PayPal, which was bought by eBay. He then sunk everything into 3 projects, $100 million into SpaceX, $70 million into Tesla, and $10 million into solar energy company SolarCity, which later merged with Tesla. In 2001, he planned on buying a refurbished intercontinental ballistic missile from the Russians to use as a launch vehicle. He figured his space ambitions could start with sending some mice to Mars. The Russians wanted $8 million per ICBM, twice what Elon was prepared to pay. When he countered with $8 million for 2, Jim Cantrell recalled in Ashlee Vance's biography on Elon that the Russians reportedly said something like, "Young boy, no." Elon apparently stormed out of the meeting. On the flight home, he broke down the cost of building and launching a rocket on a spreadsheet. He realized a modest-sized rocket that could carry smaller satellites and research payloads into space could be much less than $8 million. So SpaceX was born with a goal of building its own rockets. It is an understatement to say starting a rocket company is hard. But Elon found an ally in the godfather of rocket science, Tom Mueller. Tom worked for the large aerospace company TRW at the time, which Northrop Grumman later acquired. He spent weekends building and firing rockets in the Mojave Desert in California as part of an amateur rocket club. The amateur rocket scene was tight, and Tom got introduced to Elon. Tom designed the Merlin engine that powers SpaceX's rockets.
Basically, this engine will burn a hole right through concrete.
Merlin revolutionized spaceflight as it's designed to be reused. Elon understood that the only way to open up space to everyone was to drastically cut costs by building reusable rockets. The Falcon 9 is partially reusable as the booster lands back on Earth. Before the Falcon 9, there was the Falcon 1. The Falcon 1 attempted to launch for the first time on March 24, 2006. It lasted only 41 seconds in the air before crashing due to a fuel leak. The second attempt the following year went slightly better, but the rocket failed to reach orbit due to a chain of issues caused by an unexpected bump when the first and second stages separated. Third time wasn't a charm either, as a timing error caused the 2 stages to collide. Elon had run through all the money he had set aside for SpaceX. He was bullied for years when he was growing up in Pretoria, South Africa. One day in 8th or 9th grade, he and his brother Kimball were sitting on the top of a flight of stairs eating when a boy snuck up behind him, kicked him in the head, and shoved him down the stairs. Then a bunch of boys beat him up until he blacked out. The beating damaged his nose so severely that it restricted airflow. He later got surgery to correct his deviated septum. His life at home was no less painful. After his parents divorced, Elon opted to live with his father for a time. But he told Rolling Stone that his dad Errol was such a terrible human being. You have no idea. My dad will have a carefully thought out plan of evil. He will plan evil. Elon found comfort in coding, sometimes programming throughout the night. At age 12, he coded a space-themed video game called Blastar. A South African magazine published the source code and gave him $500. The game was no marvel of computer programming, but it did hint at his underlying brilliance. He turned his science fiction fantasies into reality when he founded SpaceX at the age of 30.
5, 4, 3.
Despite 3 failed flight attempts, an investment from a venture capital firm made it possible for SpaceX to attempt a 4th flight. The future of SpaceX rested on that 4th launch. On September 28, 2008, the Falcon 1 lifted off. 9 minutes, 31 seconds after launch, the rocket reached orbit.
Stage separation confirmed.
The success saved SpaceX because it helped secure a $1.6 billion contract from NASA to resupply cargo to the International Space Station. SpaceX was out of death's reach, but Tesla was still within its grasp. As Tesla was running out of money, Elon devised a plan to keep his company afloat. He cut 25% of the workforce and leaned on friends to cover the weekly payroll. He managed to scrape together $20 million, including money he made investing in his cousin's data center startup, which Dell bought the year before. Investors agreed to match whatever he was able to get on his own. This new round of $40 million in funding saved Tesla on Christmas Eve.
It was the last hour of the last day that it was possible.
Tesla would endure many more years of pain after going public in 2010 at $17 a share. Although the Model S wowed the world, people hesitated to buy the luxury vehicle after it came out in 2012. Elon turned his employees into salespeople whose job was to convince anyone who put down a $5,000 deposit to go through with their purchase. When orders weren't coming in fast enough, Tesla said it was temporarily shutting down its factory for maintenance and kept the real reasons secret to avoid spooking investors and sending the stock plummeting. Elon's maneuvering worked. In 2013, Tesla stunned Wall Street by posting its first ever profit. Elon's goal has always been to build a more affordable electric car, but Tesla simply couldn't keep up with demand for the Model 3.
Frankly, we're going to be in production hell. And as the saying goes, if you're going through hell, keep going.
Elon promised to produce 5,000 Model 3s a week initially, yet only managed a mere 800 cars a week in the first few weeks of 2018. Tesla was burning cash as it tried to increase the production of its most affordable car. Elon says Tesla was about a month from bankruptcy. The situation was so critical that he slept in his factories to save time, and he also said it was to suffer more than his staff. He told Bloomberg, "Whenever they felt pain, I wanted mine to be worse." The pain eased as Tesla found a way to claw its way out of danger once again. Tesla managed to increase production and turn the corner as it entered 2020. It has now expanded from one factory in Fremont, California, to factories worldwide.
Tesla delivered 1.3 million vehicles in 2022, and one of them was my own.
As I drove across Canada last summer, I couldn't help but think that one day electric cars will be so run-of-the-mill that they'll just be called cars. I did notice that supercharging stations across the country were pretty empty. There was basically no one charging beside me. Yet charging stations will soon be getting busier. Many countries, including Canada, have mandated that all new cars and light-duty trucks sold be zero-emission vehicles by 2035. Not to mention other auto companies will now be relying on Tesla's charging network, like Ford. Elon has stressed that Tesla must make its cars fully autonomous, in which there is no human intervention at all.
And that's really the difference between Tesla being worth a lot of money and being worth basically zero.
As Tesla engineers work to improve its full self-driving technology, it wants to place that technology in a robot. Optimus perhaps felt like a sideshow when Tesla first unveiled it in 2021. However,
those who are insightful or listen carefully will understand that Optimus ultimately will be worth more than the car business, worth more than FSD.
there has been arguably even more skepticism over Elon's plan to ease traffic by putting Teslas into his own tunnels. We're still years away from seeing whether the Boring Company's tunnels will be a visionary mode of transportation or if there are too many holes in Elon's plan. It's also too early to determine the potential of Neuralink, which received regulatory approval in May 2023 to test its brain implant on people. Neuralink's chip is meant to stimulate the brain and help those with spinal cord injuries control their computers and smartphones with their thoughts.
I think we have a chance, I emphasize a chance, of being able to allow someone who cannot walk or use their arms to be able to walk again.
The long-term goal of Neuralink is to merge humans with AI. A common theme runs through all his companies: the dream of freedom from Earth by going to Mars, freedom from fossil fuels, freedom from traffic, freedom from the limitations of human biology. And now Twitter is fighting for freedom of speech, which he felt was suppressed under previous leadership. Twitter has changed its incorporated name to X Corp to move toward Elon's plan of transforming Twitter into X, the everything app. Although Elon has been building many of his companies for over a decade, their potential is only just starting to emerge. Regardless of whether he succeeds or fails, he won't give up. He once said, "When something is important enough, you do it, even if the odds are not in your favor." Thanks for watching.